So, this is my car getting towed. Really traumatic experience today. Where do I start? What's up, YouTube? What's going on? Corey Kitchen here, and welcome to the most traumatic experience of my life, of my 23 years of living so far. As I'm sure most of you have seen or heard on Twitter and Instagram yesterday, I posted some pictures and tweets saying that I had been in a car accident. I could have died. Me and my best friend Brandon, we could have died. And based on the damage that my car received, we should have died. My car is completely totaled. I cannot drive it anymore. It is broken. And it's so sad because I love that car. But anyway, I'm gonna tell you what happened and also kind of work in a PSA because I did something that was totally irresponsible. I put my best friend's life in danger, my life in danger, and I, I mistakes were made. Okay, so yesterday we went to Cedar Point. It's an amusement park in Ohio. As you guys know, I live in Michigan, so it was about a 2-hour drive. So me and my friend Brandon, we went because we've been planning this trip for so long, and at the end of the day, actually it was like 5 or 6. It was so hot, like we wanted to leave earlier, so we left the park and I was driving home. Now we were both like pretty exhausted. As you all know, going to amusement parks, you do a lot of walking, it's a high level of excitement. We got on like this freaking slingshot ride, so we were like all adrenaline out, and the ride home was like really slow and we were so tired, right? So we get in the car and Brandon falls asleep like immediately, which is cool because he's a passenger. He isn't really in charge of anything. So I was driving and I was on a freeway, and I started to feel myself getting sleepy. Now, here is where I made my mistake, okay? I trivialized one of the biggest rules of driving, and that is, don't drive if you're sleepy. And of course, the other ones, don't drive drunk and all that stuff. But I trivialized the idea or the rule of not to drive while you're sleepy because I do it all the time. As you guys know, my parents live in Chicago, and I also drive there for my dentist appointments and such. And there have been plenty of times where I've made that drive from Michigan, the Detroit area, to Chicago. It's like a 4-hour drive. And, I've been sleepy before, but, I always make it and I always get there safe. So I thought this time wouldn't be any different. I had a 2-hour drive. I was tired, but, we would get there. And I assumed wrong. I assumed incorrectly. So we were driving on the freeway. I felt myself getting tired, and I was looking for a rest stop because I knew it was like a deep tired. I was like, oh man, I felt myself. I was swerving a little bit, and I was like, I need to get to a rest stop stat and just take like a 30-minute nap, rest, and just wake up, go back to the road. And I didn't make it that far. I actually fell asleep on the freeway going 60, 70 miles per hour. Um, like I'm shaking, like just remembering how it all happened. Like the last thing I remembered before I crashed was I need to find a rest stop, and I was in the rightmost lane, and just blackness after that. So obviously I hit something or I hit someone. When it first happened, we made contact really hard, and I woke up, all I saw was white, and I thought I hit like a wall of bricks or something. I thought I hit like a building. That's how hard that my car slammed into this semi truck. So we slammed into this semi truck, and me and Brandon just woke up screaming. Like he's and I don't know what happened. At that moment, I was like, "Oh shoot!" I fell asleep. But then we hit the semi truck, and the car just starts spinning, and the wheel is just doing this. And in my mind, I'm just like, "I need to stop the car. I need to stop the car. I need to stop the car." So I'm like braking, like just trying to stop. Me and Brandon, we were just screaming, and at that point, I literally felt like that was it. Like this is it. This is how I'm gonna die. All of my fears are coming true because I always thought that I was gonna die in like some freaking accident of some sort. And at that point, when I heard like my best friend screaming, I don't even remember myself screaming, but he said I was screaming. Um, but all at the time, all I could hear was his screaming and tires screeching, and I just accepted death at that point. I think we both did. He said he did as well. He thought that that was it for us. We ended up hitting the truck, and then we spun towards the right. Like I said earlier, we were in the rightmost lane, so we spun towards the right, and we landed in this grassy area to the right of the highway. So once the car stopped, like airbags blew up in our freaking face, and all I just smell is burnt smell. And I'm just like, get out. The car is gonna explode. We gotta get out. So I'm like, get out, get out, get out, get out. And Brandon gets out, I get out. And we just walk up towards the hill, and we're just shocked. Like once the car stopped, and before like I started to smell the smell, like we were both just like in a daze, like a freaking shot grenade from Call of Duty went off, and we're just trying to grasp the senses. So it was just like a ringing type of disorientation sensation. And we said get out, or I said get out, and we got out. And I literally, I don't know why this was like one of the first things I did, but I just took my shoes off, threw them in the dirt, and just sat there, just just astounded, just stunned at what just happened. And I was just out of it at that point. He kept saying like, "Are you okay? You okay?" But I was just thinking like, I was looking at my car, and I was like, this is the kind of thing that you dream about, and it happened to me. Like, how I was so sad. I was disappointed in myself because my best friend could have got hurt. I could have got hurt. This semi person could have got hurt. I mean, what if it wasn't a semi? What if it was like a freaking like one of those mini cars? One of the only reasons I feel like I survived this without a scratch. Okay, the only thing that kind of showed up on me that I didn't see when the car first crashed was this mark right here. So I guess I got a little bruise from like the impact and seatbelt slamming and everything, maybe an airbag. But literally, I came out, both me and Brandon came out of this like perfect health condition. And the way that the front of my car folded like that, we could easily have both had to get like our legs amputated or something like that. But we got out of it like, without a scratch. And I feel like one of the reasons why is so that I could make such a video today, letting people know that driving when you're sleepy is like just as bad as driving if you've been drinking. Like the result is the same. You don't have control of your car, and going 60-70 miles per hour is it's essentially a killing machine at that point. Like whatever is in your way is getting smashed, unless it's a semi, because literally there was like minimal scratches on the semi truck. But I mean, I put so many kinds of predicaments in my head of like, what if I hit the semi and we like spun to the left until the instead of the right. If we spun it to the left, that means we would have been in like the center and the left lanes of oncoming traffic, and could have put even more lives at risk. And I'm just like, what if? And first of all, I have to just thank God, my father. Like, he's always looking after me, first of all. But the crazy thing is, yesterday when we were at Cedar Point, there was a point, this is a little side story, there was a point where we were so hot, and I could have bought us drinks and stuff, but those drinks are like $4.99 for like a little Mountain Dew thing. So I'm like, yo, I'm not about to feed into this bull crap. These freaking places thinking they could just make it $5 and everybody's just gonna do it. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. So we went up to this vending machine, and we were like checking the price or whatever, and I was like, man, skip this. And I like pressed one of the buttons, And without putting any money in, and a drink came out, and I was like, "That's God looking out. That's God looking out." And not even a couple hours later, like, I get into a freaking car accident. Okay, and I know the two aren't really related, but it was just so funny to me how earlier in the day I was saying how, yeah, God is looking out for us and stuff, and then later in the day I got in a car accident because I fell asleep like an idiot. I fell asleep driving my car, and could have caused fatalities, could have died myself, could have caused my best friend to die. And it was the first time that I had accepted death in my life. I've never ever been more closer to death than I was yesterday. And all of the shenanigans that I've gotten into, and all the dangerous things that all the dangerous situations I've put myself in willingly, there have been no other occurrences where I was like, this is it type of mindset. And it's a scary place because like I was thinking about my life. I was thinking about the things that I wouldn't be able to do all in a split second. Like, this is happening so fast. You will be surprised how many computations the brain can make under extreme stress. And I was thinking about so many things in the span of milliseconds. I was thinking about, man, I'm not going to be able to talk to this person anymore. Man, I'm not going to be able to go to this event. Man, I'm not going to be able to say bye to my family or my friends or my entire freaking community of supporters. Like, it was a horrific thought. It was a horrific time. And um I'm just so grateful to God to be able to walk away from it virtually unscratched. It's a miracle. I really have no words. And I just want everybody to be safe. Like, of course people say don't drink and drive and such, but people still do. And maybe in this video I'm gonna say, like, don't drive when you're sleepy, and people still are gonna do it, but just don't do it. Like, if you gotta just go somewhere and take a nap, like, if no, see, that was my mistake. I was trying to find someplace. I should have just pulled over at that point. Like, I should have just stopped the car. Like, even if you're trying to find someplace, like, you can tell if you're in that deep tired state. Stop. Just stop. Don't even try to find a place. You have to stop. You have to. You have to. Or else something like this will happen. I was fortunate enough. I could have just woke up in heaven. Like, it literally could have been just like that. I could have just been like, oh, I gotta find a place. Welcome to heaven. Like, just finish. Just freaking total and freaking car pile up. But we made contact. We woke up. I was able to steer a little bit. And God, I feel like God, he led us to the grass area. Like, I mean, we could have hit a tree, we could have hit anything else, but I'm just so grateful. And I just want to say, don't drive when you're sleepy. Thank you guys so much for your support. And in the news yesterday, because a lot of people were sending their love, sending their prayers, are you okay and everything. And thank you to all my friends. I had my friends calling me, texting me. So thank you to everybody who cares about me. And I really felt the love yesterday. And I will never be doing something so irresponsible as driving while I'm sleepy ever again. And please, 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 please don't you drive when you're sleepy either. And so many people drive when they're sleepy, like probably even more than people that drive drunk. But driving while you're sleepy is just as dangerous. And it's trivialized. People do it all the time. That's why so many people do it. It's like, I could go on forever, but thank you guys so much. Don't drive when you're sleepy. Just don't do it. I never want to make a video like this ever again in my life. Everybody stay safe, please. I love you all so freaking much. Thank you all for being here for me. And until next time, my brothers and sisters. Tow truck guy was telling us some of these car crashes, though. Some of these were fatal.